Big women hats were all the rage in 1895. They were called Merry Widow hats. They were very useful for some things. Today I will be reading the Walla Walla Gazette for April 12, 1895. Hey, if you like my hat and would like to see more of these videos, just click here to subscribe. A big excursion. People from Walla Walla paid the OR&N Company a big sum of money Thursday for the privilege of riding to Portland and return. And they got value received, for the tickets were only $6 for the round trip, and almost anybody can afford a pleasure jaunt at these figures. It was a lively scene at the depot at train time. Along the walk in front of the depot, and for 100 feet beyond, was a mass of people eagerly awaiting the train's arrival. When it did come, there was a rushing and crowding for seats, but there were many cars, and all found accommodation. 10 cars and a double-header finally pulled out of Walla Walla after a short delay on account of a broken drawhead. The cars were filled to overflowing with merry excursionists. There were 226 from Walla Walla, 75 from Dayton, 38 from Pomeroy, and 35 from Waitsburg. All along the line, more people boarded the train. At Pendleton, it was made up in 2 sections. The metropolis of Oregon should feel honored by this avalanche of friends from east of the Cascades and do itself proud in their entertainment. The Elks had a special car out of Walla Walla and left town in state. The car was labeled in huge letters on either side with the mystic and puzzling legend, WW287BPOE. Hi, you skookum! Heyday, Portland! Indians were in their glory. North Yakima, October 9th. The fair today was given over to the Indian Jubilee, and thousands of redskins made a merry entertainment for 3,000 spectators. The grandstand was packed to standing room only all afternoon to witness the parade, races, and war dances of the Indians. Chief Moses led the parade with the choice braves of 11 different tribes, congregating from the entire Northwest. Following the parade came scores of bucks attired only in breechcloths, who posed as scouts. Then came file after file of warriors, painted and decorated with feathers and gewgaws, and numberless squaws brought up the rear. After the parade, the Indians kept up a constant series of amusements. They gave war dances and scalp dances, held a council of war, and whooped and hollered in true 1855 strain, and filled all the vacant space on the program with pony races. The squaws race brought down the grandstand in a storm of applause. The pavilion exhibits are the finest ever seen in this state in the way of small fruits, in the opinion of 600 Seattle and Tacoma excursionists who left this evening for their homes. The day's paid attendance was 2,800. Found a place to get a first-class shine at the OK Barbershop, 21 Main Street. Ginger, the champion bootblack of the Northwest. Permanent roomers wanted. Reasonable rates. Stencil Building, 3rd floor. Mrs. Virginia Haar. Blew up a stage. Corsicana, Texas, October 9th. At 1:30 this afternoon, a terrible explosion occurred in the Merchants Opera House where the Devil's Auction Company were preparing to play the night. A force of stage workmen were engaged in readjusting the scenery and otherwise getting the stage in shape, and Harry Coolidge, master of transportation and manager of the calcium lights, was testing a cylinder. There arose some doubt as to whether or not it contained black gas, and a bystander suggested that he try it with a match. He struck a match and touched it to the cylinder, and the explosion at once followed, wrecking the scenery and tearing out 2 windows 30 feet distance. The noise was heard from many blocks in every direction. In a few moments, hundreds of people had congregated. The curiosity and horror of the crowd were fed from the minute to minute by blackened and injured men running frantically out and to drugstores for relief for their injuries. The stage presented a scene of devastation over which a cloud of smoke hung. The scenery lay around in disorderly confusion. In the left fly there was a hole 5 feet square through which Arthur Sutherland had been blown into the street. When the scenery was removed and the smoke and gas cleared away, Harry Coolidge was found lying in a pool of blood. He was disemboweled and one of his legs blown entirely off. The 14-year-old daughter of T.J. Kirk of Athena suddenly left home on horseback last Tuesday. She was overtaken in the John Day country many miles away by an officer and brought back, although she told him to mind his own business. A farmer living on Dry Creek named John Thompson eloped with his wife's sister, Alice Seed, age 16 years. He sent a letter to his wife saying that, "By the time you get this, Alice and I will be in Canada. She is heartbroken and penniless." T.J. Rose's second-hand store was burglarized Wednesday night and property to the value of $25 stolen. It consisted of 9 boxes of knives and forks, a revolver, and a lot of cartridges. Races at the Dalles. A great many strangers attended the fair and races at the Dalles this week. The regulator brought 12 racehorses that will enter the events. Many people from the country are expected. There was a satisfactory first day's attendance. The day being blustery prevented a larger crowd from witnessing the races. The quarter-mile dash was awarded to Black Prince, time 25 minutes. Steamboat Belle came in ahead, but was given last place on account of a foul. Little Doe was second, and Grover third. Sued for $15,000 damages. A case of a considerable interest to Walla Walla taxpayers was on trial Thursday in the Superior Court. The plaintiff is Miss Ida K. Winchester, and the defendant, the city of Walla Walla. Mrs. Chester alleges that in June 1892, she was badly injured in a fall caused from a defective sidewalk at the corner of Poplar and 2nd Streets. According to the complaint, part of the sidewalk had been lowered, and Miss Winchester, while walking quite rapidly, caught her foot in the hole left between the walks and fell forward, sustaining such injuries that she has never recovered her former health. They have taken the town by surprise and have captured the faces of the fairest ladies. Have the McKinney brothers. Anyone can sit for a photo at $1 a dozen. RIPANS. Repons. One gives relief. About town. The testimony of a man who would drive his old and worthless horses on the railway track in order to collect exorbitant damages from the company will not stand for much anywhere. There are usually many people on the business streets of Walla Walla, both residents and visitors, and some of the latter might strenuously object to being run over and not come here anymore. Therefore, drivers of fast horses might content themselves to using other thoroughfares than Main Street as a place for contests against time. The other day, some man with a cart and black horse drove down Main Street with the reckless speed of Ben-Hur in the famous chariot race.